Hi, Jonathan York from Bay Financial Partners, looking at investment markets. Certainly still a pretty nervous, sort of volatile time out there. Equity markets are sort of up one day, down sort of the next two or three, then stage a bit of a recovery again. But overall they seem to be putting in a little bit of a base out there. Earnings have been reasonably sort of okay-ish from the US, and it's now just a question of how we sort of pan out into the first half of 2016. Certainly Warren Buffett doesn't seem to have too much trouble making money in these sort of markets. Their profits were released for Berkshire Hathaway. They were up for a near sort of record year, and really some pretty good performance going forward. It's just going to be interesting now to see if he can sustain that over the sort of 2016. Certainly it's been a pretty rocky start, but certainly his style of investing has sort of proved pretty profitable over time. The other interesting story in the US at the moment is obviously the case with Apple and the US government, and that really has some pretty major implications out there for privacy issues going forward. It's just going to be very interesting to see the end result of that case. China continues its sort of migration from a manufacturing economy over to sort of a services economy. The latest sort of PMI reports coming out of China, even the services sector, were down just a little bit, but you're still seeing some really pretty substantial growth going forward over the period. But it is certainly just worthwhile reminding ourselves about what's really happened in China. It's averaged sort of around 10% growth for the last 30 years. Now what that has done is taken nearly 500 million people out of poverty, which is really just some amazing figures out there, and really does put it into context what's going through out there. And so you would expect to see a little bit of a slowing down, because it really is unsustainable for China to be able to grow at 10% per annum for the next sort of 20 years as well. Here in New Zealand, a little bit of relief for the farmers overnight. The dairy auction, global dairy auctions were up a little bit. Overall, just over 1.4% up. But interestingly, the milk solid powders was up just over 5%, which certainly does give a little bit of relief. And it's the first sort of upward price movement in the auctions this year. Meridian Energy have a bond offer out there in the marketplace. And again, it is very tight pipeline. We need to know by Friday. Indication rates is around sort of 4.4 to 4.56. That rate hasn't been set yet, but that's a sort of indication on the margins on the current interest rates. And it's just going to be a very interesting one to see the take up on that bond. It's going to be a 7-year, but also as well to see what rate it comes at. I suspect there'll be pretty good demand out there, because really there is very little sort of fixed income paper out there. So Meridian Energy 7-year bond, indication rate is around 4.4 to 4.56. Very tight timeline. If you are interested in that, call us on 0800 867 323, or go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz. And that just highlights the issue out there for New Zealand investors at the moment who are looking for income. You've got a 7-year bond there, which is looking like it's going to come at around sort of 4.5%, or maybe a little bit below that. That's going to be fixed for the next 7 years. A lot of investors are looking for income. There are some alternatives out there, some other options. And if you're interested in discussing these, as I say, call us on 0800 867 323, or go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz for lots of interesting articles. I look forward to speaking to you soon.